Hello, everybody. We got Scythe and Sparrow for you today. I'm Quinn. This is Violet. This is Elvish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His eye.
Yeah. I mean, this book was okay. We rated it kind of low. I don't know if Elvish, did you like despise it or?
Are we just going straight in?
Yeah, I guess we can just go straight in, dive in.
I gave this motherfucker a 1 star.
Oh, I gave it like 2 to 3. I was nicer. I was like, oh, I'll give it like a 3. It was kind of interesting, but you know.
Negative
also no.
ghostwriter. No.
Negative ghostwriter. All right.
No. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little nice old pin in that for a second.
All right. Oh boy. Okay. Well, a nice little. So what this book's about is like
Depression.
This woman. Depression. Got it. It's about this woman, Rose Evans. She's a 26-year-old performer. She works at this. I honestly don't know how to pronounce the circus name, but she basically fled her abusive home, and now helps abused women under the name Sparrow. So, while in Nebraska.
Oh, that makes sense.
What? What makes sense?
That makes so much sense. I was wondering where the fucking name Sparrow kept coming from.
Yeah.
I'm
While in
so
Nebraska,
bored. I'm sorry.
While in Nebraska, she attacks a man named Matt Cranwell, suspected of abusing his wife, but is injured and ends up at Dr. Fionn Kane's clinic. Fionn has a violent past, offers her a place to stay. They develop a romantic and schmexual relationship despite their complicated histories. After a violent encounter with Matt, Fionn agrees to a secretive contract killing job in Croatia. I know how to read, guys. Leaving Rose heartbroken. She rejoins the circus, but receives love letters from Fionn. Almost a year later, they reunite in Ellsworth, Maine, reconcile, and decide to be a couple. Fionn proposes, and Rose accepts. This book seemed to be all over this place for me. I don't really know what was going on half of the time, but I was able to like put together most of it. I didn't know where, like, kind of what Elvish said. I had to really piece together, like, where the freaking name Sparrow kept coming from.
Oh yeah.
I was like, where, what is going on?
1000%.
But I also had to keep putting together like what characters were who, if that makes sense. I was very lost. I was like, how is this character tying to this? Like, where is this coming from? And then the random circus lore was really confusing me. I love circuses, by the way. I could yap about that instead of this book. Anyway. But yeah, she also does like tarot readings and stuff, which I found interesting. She would like do tarot readings on like, I think she did a couple on Fionn, and she got them completely right, like about his personality and stuff. But yeah, she'd do tarot readings on some of the characters, which was interesting to me. But yeah, otherwise, I found this book kind of boring. I didn't like the flaming hot scenes, if that's what you want to call it, the spicy scenes. Yeah, that's what it's called. I didn't really like them. They were just, it felt forced. It was just, there was a lot, too. There's a lot. On a plane. Wow. Sorry. Sorry. I just blown away. I don't know. Elvish, what do you have?
Oh. Okay. So, I mainly just have a rant.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna fuck on off.
Alright.
First of all, if you have not watched the other videos, I will start by saying the second book Leather and Lark, I did rate it 5 stars. So no, I'm
Leather
not just
and
a
Lark
hater.
is amazing.
It was fantastic. I rated it 5 stars. So no, I am not just a hater. Samantha, sit the fuck down. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on.
There was absolutely zero chemistry between both the female main character and the male main character. First of all, Fionn, or whatever the fuck his name is the worst brother out of the 3. Like, he is... Ugh, whatever. Pause. There was no spark, no good banter, no sexual chemistry, nothing. As kind of like Quinn said, all of the spicy scenes were so fucking forced to the point where I quite literally skipped every single one of them. I think I listened...
That's so real.
Because, like, I say this every time. I do half physical book, half audiobook. I can't read physical books at work. I quite literally listened to maybe a third of a spicy chapter, and after that, I was like, yeah, that's so fucking cringe, and I skipped every single... Anytime I heard any type of... And I stroked, skip, next. And, like, oh my god. There was little to no character development. They both felt very stagnant throughout the entire book.
They felt flat, yeah. They were just like...
Absolutely.
Yeah,
there was no depth or dimension to them.
Where's the flavor?
Oh
like,
my god.
I was sitting there and I was like... I mean, the whole book really felt flat. I didn't really feel like there was a story going on.
Right.
I just kind of felt like I was reading someone's life, and I was like, okay. I mean, it got interesting at a few parts where they were like... I'm not lying. It didn't get interesting.
You know, it didn't. And you know,
like, you know, you thought it would get interesting maybe, like, whenever they introduced concept, like, slightly new concepts, and you're like, oh, maybe this is going somewhere, but then, like, it never did.
Well, and I personally found it completely fucking stupid that, this book was actually set as technically a prequel to the other 2 books, which was absolutely fucking stupid. Because I'm reading it and I'm like, okay, this is kind of boring, but it's going well. And then something happens and I'm like, wait a minute. But I've read the other 2 books. This doesn't make any sense. I keep reading.
Right.
Wait, where are we? And then finally we meet Sloane and Rowan, which is book 1's main characters. And they had just, like, got together. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we're now... like a year or 2 before everything happened, and then out of nowhere, as soon as we meet Rowan and Sloane, out of nowhere, it's like 2 years later. I'm like, what is happening?
Right. Like, hello? I don't know. It was very interesting. I don't know. It introduced Sloane and Rowan, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I know those guys. And then it introduced Leather and Lark's characters. I can't think of their names right now. Jesus Christ. Lark
and Lachlan?
Lachlan, yeah. I love Lachlan to death. I can't believe I forgot his name. But yeah, and then it introduces them, and I was like, okay. I know those guys too, but where are we?
Right, and I know in the second book we already said that out of all 3 brothers, Fionn was the only one we weren't really vibing with, so maybe that has something to do with it. But even when Lark comes in this book, she felt completely different than the Lark we read in book 2, and I don't know if that's just me, but she didn't feel like she was the same character at all. She had a completely different personality, especially because we went through, like, in Leather and Lark, we went through that exact same scene, but we saw it from Lark's point of view. Now we're seeing it from Rose's point of view. And, like, it's complete... I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. If you kind of look at it from an outsider's perspective, you get to see how other people view you and your personality rather than how you view yourself. So that makes sense, but you don't get to see Lark how we originally met her and perceived her to be as. It was just a completely different character that I had no clue who it was.
Makes me mad.
Yeah, it irritated me. And the thing is, I almost DNF'd it at 10%. I think I was on like chapter 8. I legitimately was like, I'm gonna DNF this. I didn't.
Didn't you tell me that?
I think I did. I was like, you know what? I don't know. It's like chapter 8 or something. I don't want to read this anymore. I'm going to DNF it. And I'm like, no, the other ones were good. So let me just hold on. I get to 50%. I'm like, bro, I can't fucking do this anymore. I'm going to DNF it. No, let's keep going. 75%. All right, I'm for sure going to DNF it. And I think I ended up DNFing it. Actually, if I'm thinking about it, I think I ended up DNFing it at 99.9. I think I got all the way to the epilogues and I didn't read the epilogues. There's 2 epilogues. I didn't read them.
The epilogues were meh, so, I mean,
I think I just ultimately got busy, but I was so bored that I didn't think about coming back to them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I guess ultimately I did kind of DNF this book, but I was just like, bro, I'm so over it. Like, Fionn is just... Yeah. And then, my final part of my rant. I love everything about, like, circus. Like, if you add circus to a book, I feel like it's going to be interesting.
Literally.
There was no interesting circusness in this book at all. And then you have her, this whole badass, I don't know what they're called. I don't think she even says what they're called. But the guys that are in the cage and they do the motorcycles, this is supposed to be this whole badass boss bitch moment thing. She can barely, like, take 2 steps without either A, getting hurt, B, having an episode, or C, all of the above. So you really expect me to believe that this bitch is on a motorcycle driving around in circles inside of a little, like, cage? Really?
Yeah.
So what's next? I'm a fucking brain surgeon? Bro. I can't go 2 seconds without dropping something and I'm a fucking brain surgeon? Really? No.
I also wish we would have seen more of the circus stuff, because, like, come on, you can't just say someone's in the circus and not show me, like, cool like circus murders and stuff. Like, it's a serial killer book, like a serial killer series, and, like, you're not gonna add, like, creepy stuff. Like, come on.
I would have even... Okay, so if you read the first book, now follow me here, right? If you read the first book, there was the serial killer that poisoned the human meat and fed it to them, and that's when Rowan got poisoned from eating human meat.
First book, creepy as hell. Loved it.
Right. Then you get to the second book, right? Gouging eyes, having to cut off fingers, take eyes out, you know?
The tables and stuff. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. She even made her victims, like, she took parts of her victims and put them in resin molds, and she made stuff. She made a snow globe. Her table was one of her victims, right?
Yeah.
So follow me here. I would have loved to see her feed someone to the fucking lion.
Literally. That's what I'm saying.
Having him dangle, like, you know, like the ropes, like the trapeze, having him dangle from the ropes and having the fucking lion jump up, snap, you're dead, you're gone. Man, that was great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like,
instead of confetti, have it be organs. I would have loved to see that. My god.
You're giving me inspiration now, Elf. not for my own in real life things, for writing. Guys, I wanna clarify.
We turn on Fox News.
Turn on Fox News. Quinn's there.
Listen. This is such a disrespectful thing to say, and I know it is, so I apologize in advance. But reading something like this that has 1,000% potential but 0% execution, I feel like I can write it better, and I want to try writing it better. You know what I mean? Like, I know that's so disrespectful, and I'm so sorry, but there was so much potential for this book to be fantastic, and there was just 0 execution or anything. There was no flavor, no seasoning. This might... Never mind, I can't say that.
I would say I could write it better, but I'm too lazy. Like, in theory, I could write it better, but I'm too lazy, so I won't.
I would take a Caucasian potato salad with fucking raisins over this book. Who the fuck puts raisins in their fucking potato salad? If that is you, Sharon, Susan, stop doing that. Stop.
Oh my god.
Stop
Call out.
Remove the raisins. Add slap your mama. Thank you.
I didn't despise this book. I did get some inspiration from it, and Elvish. Thank you. Writing material. But I think I can get inspiration just from about like any book. And that's what I say in a lot of these videos is like, thank you for writing inspo. I'm gonna pluck that out of your book and your grubby little hands and I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave. So no matter what rating I give an author's book, you know, take that, you know?
Yeah.
So I probably rate this like 2.5 stars.
I rate this 1. I mean, I typically try and give a little bit higher, but there was nothing. I had nothing to grab onto in order to rate it. So I gave it a 1. Better than a 0, I guess.
Better than a 0. Can you even rate it a 0?
On Goodreads, no. Sadly, so.
Damn.
I guess we give it a 1.
Damn.
Well, that is all I have. I'm sorry that this one was horrible. Author, if you ever do see this, I'm so sorry. Lark was perfect,
I loved
though.
your other books.
Right? The other ones were great. Oh, she has a new book coming out, too. She just announced it the other day.
Ooh, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna snatch it.
We might have to read it on here. I have to find it again. I think it's on her TikTok.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's all I have.
Alright. Well, that's all I have as well.
Okay. Well. Goodbye.
See ya, nerds.
Oh yeah. Fuck you, Chad.
Yeah, fuck you, Chad. Love everyone else.